Check, check, check. Alrighty. Well, let's give this a shot, shall we? Sweet, sweet. Alright. Well, hey everybody. It's your buoy Pat, and we're out here doing another one of these little dives. We are here at Monastery Beach doing a little solo dive right now. There's a lot to be said about the do's and don'ts of scuba diving. One of them is don't go dive without a buddy. But one of the things as you become a photographer and a videographer is that you start losing all of your buddies because nobody wants to spend 45 minutes staring at a shrimp like you do. So we're going to be very conservative on this dive. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Also going to be checking in with ourselves all the time, making sure, hey, you know what? If I'm not comfortable, I'm just going to get out of here. Ooh, and we're arriving at our drop spot, which is good timing because I was tired of the surface swim. Yeah, a lot of underwater photography and videography is actually done by a lot of people that are out there being self-reliant. They might not have gotten in the water by themselves, but they certainly are alone once they're out there. Gonna make some final adjustments to the mask. Off we go. Let's do this thing. All right. So we are now underwater out here at the school side of North Monastery. Part of the reason for entering at the school side compared to other sites is that you get to the canyon that's out here at North Monastery a little bit quicker. What you see all around me is kind of your quintessential shallow reef. Oh, we got kind of hazy, but maybe decent visibility. A little bit of swell, so a little bit of surge right here. We are heading into a zone away from the wash rock. The wash rock that you can see from the beach is currently over to my left, basically south from here. And this part is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous kelp forest where we have so much canopy going on, and also we're heading into the fall. Oh, we have a little arch of kelp that we can swim under. Whoosh! There, oh, we got a big old rotting piece of bull kelp right there. Oh. You can maybe see the air bubble in there, a little bit of water mixed in. It's kind of fun. So anyway, this is absolutely beautiful back in here. Pretty much what most of the reefs in California look like for a long time. Oh, we got a kelp rockfish to our right. Got a school of blue rockfish here in front of us. A little baby rockfish there as well. This is an extremely thick understory of kelp out here. We've got tangles of feather boa kelp. That's this stuff right here. Being munched on by some turban snails. We've got bull kelps all intertwined, rising up around us there as well. I'm going to adjust the GoPro angle here maybe a little bit. Yeah, this is a whole bunch of kelp here that once the winter storms really start hitting is just going to get completely ripped up, torn out, and thrown onto the coast. Pretty wild to get to see it right now. In this pre-phase, there's another school of blue rockfish. Hey, buds. Absolutely gorgeous. Progress report is that we're about 23 feet deep. Coming up on some gorgeous boulders here on the right. That's one of the coolest parts about this dive site in particular is that you can really see how the topography that we have out here along the coast continues on underwater. Makes sense, obviously. And there's a yellowtail rockfish that just swam by over there to our right. The topography that we have along the coast continues on underwater. That seems pretty obvious. But it's pretty cool to see what these boulders look like down here. Covered in algae, coral and algae, starfish. So much life. Oh, another pretty little school of blue rockfish over here. Yeah, it's just kind of wild. You know, you got these forests that continue on underneath the water as we go. Very different feel than the cypress forest that we have hanging out on the shore. So, hitting about 30 feet now, kind of reaching the edge of this kelp here. And out in front of us is going to be one of the fingers of the Carmel Canyon. That's going to descend down over 300 feet down to a first step, then on to even deeper depths beyond that. And here we've got some absolutely ginormous kelps. Hopefully you can see that all the way up to the surface here, approaching 36 feet deep. And this is the highly reproductive season here for this giant kelp, Macrocystis pyrifera, as it's called. But just look at all of this stuff down in here. These are all what are known as sporophylls. Sporophylls are what release all the little spores, but eggs and sperm into the water that will eventually form other kelps. And if you look all the way up, just how massive these organisms are. And speaking of massive organisms, we have a fairly substantial egg yolk jellyfish in front of us. So I'm going to turn on my other light here and see if that doesn't help illuminate this mega jelly. Oh, how egg-citing. All right, looking good. Sweet. This is what I wanted to come out here and show you all. This is an egg yolk jellyfish. And let's see, I can turn on my actual camera and see what we can do as far as recording this friend in a little bit more detail as we talk. But here's an egg yolk jellyfish known as Phacellophora camtschatica. And they're also known as fried egg jellyfishes. The reason they're called that seems pretty obvious once you get up above them, as we're doing right here. Because you can see how it just kind of looks like egg drop soup or something. These jellies are our southern counterpart to the lion's mane jellyfishes that are more common up in Alaska, where I spent a lot of the summer with the Lindblad expeditions. And these animals are jellivores, so they eat other gelatinous animals, like salps, other jellyfishes, things like pyrosomes. Pyrosomes are what are also called sea pickles that sometimes wash up on the beach. And this animal is one that stings, but it's maybe less stingy than it is sticky. And that stickiness is what allows it to gather up all those other gelatinous animals all around. And if I kind of pan down here with the camera, you might be able to see just how long these tentacles go, or how far these tentacles go, rather. And those are all there to gather up little bits of plankton and other gelatinous fare. And yeah, so pretty much dive made. This is what I wanted to show you all out here. Pretty sweet. So might do even a little bit of a selfie mode right here with the egg yolk jellyfish. Pretty sick. I have seen more egg yolk jellies this year than I have any other year out here in Monterey Bay. I don't know if it's due to species abundance or if it's just right place, right time. There happens to be a big cohort of them that was pushed in on shore here at Monastery where it's easy to come find them. But whatever the case, it's a banner year for the egg yolk jellies. It's been an eggstravaganza here along the coast. And right on, we found one. Also, I should point out that these blue rockfish all around us are very excited because they like to eat egg yolk jellyfishes and other gelatinous animals. So in case you're wondering what those blue rockfish are interested in with me filming, I'm making a lot of noise, but also this is potentially a meal for them. Look at it splaying out all of its tentacles right now. I mean, that's just so wild. My favorite animals in the whole ocean to go scuba diving with are egg yolk, or my favorite animals to go scuba diving with in the whole ocean are jellyfishes and other gelatinous organisms. Because we just don't have animals like this on land, you know? We don't have animals made of air that are flowing by us all day, but if you're in the ocean, you have animals made of water that are flowing around you at all times. Pretty crazy. Okay, well with that, I mean, absolutely gorgeous oh my god, and I have a little sculpin hanging out on my camera. I hope that one of my cameras can show you that. What's up, bud? Come on. Get out of here. I don't want you to come home with me. Alright, we should maybe adjust the... Right on. Well, sweet. I'm hyped up. Careful. Plenty of egg yolk jelly tentacles coming by. Well, sweet. 47 feet deep. And 12 minutes later, that's pretty much the dive. Right on. Well, now what we're going to do, I think, is just give you a little tour of the area. We might find some more egg yolk jellies as we go. We got a black rockfish hanging out right here. I should do something about... Oh, off we go. I should do something about my primary light here. It's a little bit too low, but black rockfish are sort of like blue rockfish in that they inhabit the same type of environment. They're found a little bit further north, typically, than around here. We tend to have more blue rockfish down here, I should say. Oh, here's a beautiful reef scene. I'll adjust this here. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more light, even. That's one of my favorite parts about diving out here at Monastery Beach is you have these absolutely gorgeous reef scenes because of how much current we get out here. We've got big ol' Tridodendum tunicates, these gray looking ones. Those are a colonial animal. We have bryozoans, staghorn bryozoans, that are another colonial animal. Different genus or different phylum entirely than the tunicates. Got a beautiful titan here in the middle. In fact, 2 or 3 different species of chitin all hanging out right there. This is a flame-lined chitin right there. Tonisola Loki. So if you're into the Disney universe, that's the chitin of mischief there. I don't know how far you can see right now where we are, but in front of me, down to the right, that's the canyon. That's the drop-off. We are currently 44 feet deep, and out beyond us over there drops off several hundred feet. And here we're kind of arriving at the edge of the amphitheater that I like to call the Kelp Cathedral. We're going to kind of mosey our way through that, I think, and then maybe swim around to the other side of it to complete the dive instead of going back home the same way that we came. Oh, big old cabezon. Oh man, I hope you saw that, because I did not film it with my primary camera, but that was a gargantuan cabezon. Cabezons are the largest of the sculpin family. Oh my goodness. And that one, you know, is a resident here. Now that I know that it's there, I might be able to see it when I come back. All right, coming around through here, we're getting into some classic scenes. We've got here this line of Cucumaria sea cucumbers, as they're known. Cucumaria are filter feeding sea cucumbers that grab food out of the water. See them all here in this crack with a purple urchin mixed in for good measure. And then kind of the most classic part of diving out here are the anemones. We have here these white spotted rose anemones. And then we have down over here fish eating anemones. I'm not saying the scientific name because I learned them one way and I'm pretty sure they're different now. Anyway, that's kind of your quintessential gorgeous little bit of reef scene. This zone here, I love it on a nice sunny clear day. It's not super sunny or super clear, but maybe you can kind of see this zone here is kind of flat, a little bit of sand, all these anemones here. The anemones stick around, but they can also move. They can walk about the reef, so sometimes you see them in different spots. Right now we have a copper rockfish that's hanging out here in front of me. Copper rockfish are very pretty. You can tell from the lateral line there on the side that it's a copper rockfish compared to some others out here. Gorgeous fish. The copper rockfish, when they're babies, they look very similar to kelp rockfishes like this one here. They also look very similar to black and yellows and gophers. So they're in the KGBC family of little baby rockfish. We're using up our air pretty quickly because I'm talking while diving, and we're down a little bit deeper. We're about 50 feet deep now. So we might end up going back to the beach the way we came. Anyway, beautiful school of blue rockfish here hanging out in the light. Oh, with a big egg yolk jelly over there. Let's go take a look at that egg yolk jelly. And then, let's see. Yeah, we're coming up on about half a tank, which is pretty wild. I use so much more air when I'm talking. So, oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to show you. Okay, well, I'll show you these egg yolk jellies, and then we're going to GTFO, as the kids say. But here is a beautiful scene. Let's see if it'll actually focus. I think we are where we need to be. There we go. Absolutely sumptuous egg yolk jelly here at the edge of the reef. Oh yeah. Oh, let me even zoom out on you there, buddy. You're filling the frame. Let's see, 57 feet deep here. Big egg yolk jelly. And then if we head out a little bit away, there's another and another. Oh my God, there they all are. That's pretty wild. So just from here, I've got one egg yolk jelly, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 with our friend back in here. Absolutely wild. I've honestly never seen this many. Oh, maybe in 13 egg yolk jellies. I've never seen this many egg yolk jellies, and they've just all been hanging out right here for the last little bit. And I'm pretty sure it's just the currents haven't been super rough. It's just been a good spot to hang out. Check out here on the back of this egg yolk jelly. It's got a bunch of barnacles on the back. These animals can become their own little traveling ecosystem, their own little open ocean base, as it were, for various animals, including barnacles that hang out on them. There's another barnacle up in here that you might be able to see. So you think about barnacles on a whale, and that's something that we have of note. Well, it turns out barnacles really kind of enjoy the whole gamut, hanging out and traveling the ocean with whatever organism works out. And right now, that's these egg yolk jellies. Now up there you can maybe see the blue rockfish are going after the egg yolks. And this one has tentacles splayed out very far. Let's see, we're 60 feet deep now. Oh, look at that egg yolk. Oh, and it's got a pyrosome in its tentacles. I was mentioning the pyrosome earlier. There's one. Pyrosomes, the word pyrosome means fire body. So that's an animal that is brightly bioluminescent and makes its own light this bright blue-green. And this one is gonna be darting on it. So I guess if it's a pyrosome, that means fire body, then is that a spicy morsel? Is this jellyfish on an episode of Hot Ones? Tough to know, but I'll ask Sean Evans next time I see him. Okay. Well, that's quite fun. You'll remember I mentioned that when you dive by yourself, you want to be conservative. So we've been diving about 23 minutes, but we're already coming up on just about half of my tank. And so I'm just gonna head back home right now and make sure that we get to dive one more time. There's our beautiful copper rockfish friend with kelp rockfish buddy. Boy, I just absolutely love it out here. So beautiful. It's kind of like having Yosemite to yourself, in a way, you know? Oh, we got a big Monterey dorade right here, hanging out. That's one of my favorite aspects of diving out here. It's just having this ability to very quickly be out, away from other people, out in your own little world and having your own private experience of the planet. Scuba diving has really brought me a sense of peace and calm. You know, before coming out here today, I was not like stressed out or anything, you know, but it's just kind of a lot going on, trying to figure out how I'm going to start this YouTube channel, try to bring you along with me, and knowing that it's probably going to involve a lot of times like this where I'm going to be out here by myself. And last thing I want is for one of these videos of mine to be found, and it's the cautionary tale. Really just want to show people what's out there in their backyards, and this is kind of what I'm figuring out how to do in real time with all of you. Because this stuff, as amazing as it is, woof, as it got a little bit of surge there. This stuff, as amazing as it is, it's like, that's what I like to call the magic of the mundane. Because this is out here all the time. When I'm not out here, this kelp forest is breathing, it's growing, it's doing its thing. And when we come out here and we see it, it's like, oh my God, how could this be? And then it's like, well, it's kind of what I'm doing all the time, dude, you know? It's sort of like when you're out there scrolling on your algorithm. This beautiful school of blue rockfish here. This is wild. I'm narrating about Instagram and things as I'm out here diving. Oh, those are beautiful. But as you scroll through, you just see so many different people doing something that just comes natural to them. That's when I get the most inspired, and try to remind myself that that's also what these organisms are doing, you know? They're doing what comes natural to them. And it's special, of course. It's gorgeous. It's something to be really cherished. And it's also something that is not completely inaccessible, you know? It's something that people have been exploring, can explore. And it's also not always this grandiose, here along the windswept shores of the California coast moment, you know? It's actually very, very normal to have giant kelp forests in these conditions, and we'd like to see more of them going forward. And with climate change and various things going on related to that, it's just becoming more and more, I think, important to show the gardens that exist out here still. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, look how cool this is. Look how awesome the world still is and will continue to be when we apply ourselves. Because it's not just the special stuff that needs protecting, it's the mundane stuff. Just this starfish doing its thing, living its life, as I've made my way fully into the shallows and the surge channel here. Anyway, enough soapbox. We're still out here diving. Let's keep having some fun diving, shall we? We're now about 16 feet deep, which is perfect, because it's going to be time to do a safety stop here pretty soon. I'm rotating my camera, by the way, just to kind of push through the understory, in case you're wondering what was going on there. Oh boy, nice and thick in here. Oh, big old cabezon. Hey bud. Sorry, gotta go. So, I guess let me know in the comments, episode 2 here, what you think of this kind of endeavor here. What do you want to know more about? Want my candid thinking or more marine biology? I guess it's probably a mixture of all of it, but in any case, I really appreciate you watching this episode as I'm about to surface here. If anything, looking up, I could see the foam on the surface, so it means that I'm somewhere around that wash zone. And I think, just for the sake of it, I'm going to come up and see where the heck I am. Nice and slow. And then make our kick in from there. That's where we are. Alrighty, so we were near Ribera Road after all. So we're gonna just have to kick our way around some of these rocks here. Well, with that, everybody, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's supporting me in this endeavor. Thanks for following, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, if you've done that. Thank you to the companies that have supported me in doing this as well. Shout out to SCUBA Pro for helping me out with all my gear. Shout out to Backscatter Underwater Photo Video out there in Monterey for all the camera equipment, help and support over the years. Thank you to Kenuro Aquatics for the air. Thank you to Light on Motion Dive for the lights. Thank you to everybody that's supporting me over on Patreon. I've got one of those, not super active, but you'll be getting these episodes for everybody else and maybe a few other things. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to plug. I feel like that's just my whatever YouTube script, but thank you for coming on a dive with me. And I'll see you back on the beach. Thanks, everybody.